Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us today. I appreciate you sticking around for the last presentation of the day. And I promise you we're going to keep it down to 9 minutes. You need to start that clock. Yeah, I'm Justin O'Keefe. This is my son, Jules O'Keefe. And we're running the business together along with several other people. But, business usually forms out of filling a need. To solve a problem. And so that's kind of how our business got created. I'm a fifth generation funeral director. Our family's been in the funeral business for over 157 years in the state of Mississippi. Jules is a sixth generation funeral director as well. And I'm also a financial planner. And I have up here in memory of my son, Adam O'Keefe. And that's kind of what spurred this business model to begin. He got killed at the age of 29. He got in a vehicle accident, and on that Friday he got divorced, and unfortunately, his marriage didn't work out, and so 3 days later he got killed on the following Monday in a vehicle accident. So, of course, I'm at the funeral home with my other children and with my son, with my brother, and they said, hey, in comes the ex-wife of 3 days and sits down at the table. And she says, well, look, I'm not here to bury your son. I'm here to collect on that life insurance because that money belongs to me. And I want a certified death certificate. Well, I almost fell out of the chair, I got to tell you. I mean, I was shook up. And so I looked at my brother, Jeff, who was helping me plan my son's funeral. I said, let me tell you something. I said, 3 days from now, I said, Adam will be buried with or without her money. And I got up and I walked out. And so from that's how the Memorial Asset Protection Plan kind of came into being. And we started following, what happened after death occurred, and with these certified death certificates. And so a pattern quickly emerged. The first thing, we'd go see a family and they'd say, hey, look, I ordered 10 death certificates, but I really needed 15 because I forgot we had that Wells Fargo account, we had that timeshare down in Florida, we had that little piece of property in Colorado. And so we're waiting on more certified death certificates to take care of our business. And then the second person I'd go see, they'd be like, well, I ordered 25 certified death certificates. I only needed 8. What am I going to do with these other 12 that I paid $5 a piece for? Well, it's not the principle that they paid the $5 a piece. The principle is that they paid for something they know they can't use, and people don't like that either. So we started developing a system. Well, what do you need certified death certificates for? For your trust or this or that or the other. What can you use photocopies for, like gas, water, power, so forth and so on. And finally, the light bulb went off. And so we had it figured out, and then we decided, okay, well, we can monetize a solution and create a stream of income to help families with this situation. And so we developed a patent pending system right here, and it's all electronic, and what it does is it goes through a confidential portal, and we're gonna get more into that in a minute, but we have a team of people, young qualified people, web developers, and SEO people and people that handle the transmission of the data, keeping it all confidential. And so we have a process developed, and we have over 4,000 funeral homes nationwide that want our patent pending system. And so that's what's exciting about it. And so what we've done is we became the intermediary to helping other families. In other words, just like you did with the helping somebody with, with the driveway and so forth. Well, when somebody passes away, a lot of times they need a lawyer, or they need a financial advisor, or they want to donate their property to charity. or they want to, need to go into a long-term care facility because now, their spouse is gone and they need some help. And so anyway, so we set up this system to do that, to help them out. And Jules, you want to take over from here for a few slides here?
So with this slide, I know it may seem a little harsh, but honestly, death is never easy, and death is always harsh. When you're losing somebody, it's essentially the worst day of your life. And as a licensed funeral director, I get to sit down with people and guide them through that process basically every single day. And what I've seen personally, you sit down with families and it never fails. You get to where you're talking about certified death certificates, how many copies they need, and honestly, a lot of times they're just lost. If they don't already have representation, they just don't know where to go and don't know what to do. And that's where Memorial Asset Protection Plan was born. And then as you can see right here, we have Percoa and Brokers Alliance. Percoa is a pre-need company of America. We actually partner with them to inject ourselves into over 4,000 funeral homes across the nation. And then to connect the financial planning aspect of it, we have Brokers Alliance with upwards of 2,000 financial advisors across the United States that we can basically connect the dots for families. When they don't have representation, they don't know where to go, what to do, they have 1,000 questions. You get to guide them through this process and connect the dots with that. And I could talk all day, but the numbers, it's just the proof. The proof is in the numbers. In 2021, this is actually what we saw along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. The assets that were moved were over 15 million in all the different verticals that my father was talking about or referring to. That generated over 500,000 plus in revenue right there alone. And that's just along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And this map right here represents all of the dots on the map. Basically, Percoa is slated to get us where those dots are. And essentially, if you look at the one red dot there on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the slide before, that's what that represents, that one area. So we were slated to go over the whole United States.
Yeah, so it's a huge market. I mean, over 3 million deaths a year, and we have over 10,000 people a day turning 65. So, I mean, the seniors market is just exploding. I mean, trillions of dollars are going to transfer through the generations over the next few years. And so we've modernized the process to help families instantaneously when they need that help with who they need it with. And so how it works is a death occurs here in Jackson, Mississippi, and the family goes into Wright and Ferguson Funeral Home, and they say, oh, well, I need to have my attorney. I got to call my attorney because I got to change my trust. I need to talk to a financial advisor. So the funeral director takes his phone out and he takes a picture of the jacket that he's filled out the information on, hits the button, it zings through our confidential portal in Phoenix, Arizona, and zings straight back to Jackson, Mississippi, and dings on that person's phone to give them help right then and there when they need it the most, or on a pre-planning basis. And so it gives it instantaneously helping the families. And so as a result, it generates income, and then we have these other verticals, because like I say, a lot of people, they want to leave their money to charity or whatever they may want to do with it, or if they need to get long-term care or whatever it is. And so these are some of the financial advisors already slated, that are already working with our system. And so we're building this out nationwide. We're excited about it. And so anyway, thank you for your time today, and we'll take any questions if you have any questions for myself or Jules. He said, I'm better looking, I'm taller, I'll stand in the back. He said, you go up front. Yes, sir.
How do you get paid?
Yeah, so the financial advisors we bring in, we share in 50% of their compensation, and so that's how we get paid, is through the financial advisor stream.
So you set up as a RIA to accept those fees?
Yeah. Well, we're not doing the managed money right now at this time. We're looking at doing that in the future. A lot of our financial advisors do managed money, but quite frankly, when people get to that age, a lot of them like to be more conservative, and so we recommend mostly doing fixed type products.
Solicitation fee or referral fee.
Right, exactly, yes. Yes, sir.
What's the advantage for it certainly makes a lot of sense, but let's say the advantage of the funeral home director in pick a spot, Peoria, Illinois, to use this?
Yeah, because we're connecting them with people in their local area. So in other words, like if somebody dies today in San Antonio, Texas, and they go into the funeral home, or Peoria, Illinois, and they go into the funeral home there and they say, oh, well, look, I need some help. Then a funeral director processes it, zings through our confidential website in either Phoenix, Arizona, or Orlando, Florida, and zings straight back to Peoria, Illinois, and dings on that person's phone, the professional, to provide that service for that family in that same town. So it's connecting local families with local professionals instantaneously to help their services. Any other questions? Yes.
Does the funeral director make a profit off of that?
Yes, they're all in the stream of income.
Does the funeral director pay you a fee?
No, they do not.
And this is a complimentary service that's offered through the funeral home as well. This is not a service that we're charging for or anything.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all's time today.